So I want to make sure that we have a few things here. I don't want you to be intimidated by the preferences menu. Let's go to preferences. It should be under edit. Click onto preferences. Now everything that I have opens up on a second screen. I have a second screen. You do not have to have a second screen, although if you are going to 3D model, eventually, maybe you want to invest in one, please, because it'll help you out. If you are going to get in, now you don't need a tablet to model, but my opinion is if you're going to sculpt, you're going to need a tablet. Even if it's an inexpensive, lower budget tablet that's under $100 or right around $50, there are plenty of decent tablet companies right now, and they're all vying for your consumer dollar. Obviously, Wacom is a very solid tablet, but there are some of the other companies out there. XP Pen is a good company, and Huion is a good company. Beyond those, as of this recording, I think those two companies are really good. I know there are some other things out there. Can I draw on an iPad? Of course I can draw on an iPad, but Blender isn't on an iPad. Or I don't know if it's on a Surface Pro. I think it might be on one of the Surface, because it's a full version of Windows. If you can get Blender on that and you have a stylus with it, you'll be fine. The problem with that is your hand, if you try to sculpt with a mouse, your hand is going to... Look, I'm not a doctor, but as someone who's been drawing for most of his life, and at that point that is well over 40 years, I take my hands very seriously, and your hand on a mouse, scrubbing back and forward for hours and hours, you're not going to last very long. Your hand very much could start getting pains and other things. So, and at almost, I'll be turning 50 shortly, in a few years anyway. The idea, and having been my past of being a very young break dancer to club kid to doing a little bit of martial arts, let me just tell you, arthritis is real, kids. So keep that in mind. Don't try to sculpt with a mouse. That's my opinion. Please don't try. Anyway, dad lecture over, right? So over here, add-ons are really cool. I bought some add-ons, but let me go with the things that I've enabled that I know that you have. I'm not going to worry about Archipec and Archimesh. Let's see. So you can go up in here and type in. So let's just type this in. I want to type you through it. IMPORT. So you're going to import, check FBX format. Image paste, that's an add-on that I have, but import images is planes. That's what I have. Import, export, wavefront OBJ. That's one that you want to have, and those are just the basic ones to have. You want to import the FBX format. Images is planes. Now you may not have all of these because I bought some add-ons, so let me just go with official. Okay, I think I got rid of everything that I bought. So if you want to stop the screen and you want to add on these, I don't know about this GT. I don't know why that's. I think some of these are activated by default because I don't remember Stanford PLY format. So you are going to have some things that are already enabled, but go ahead and freeze the screen and enable these. Right? That's what I have. And what else do I have here? And so yeah, this is what I have here. So if I get rid of the import, the other thing, render cycles, render engine, and freestyle SVG exporter. And I will because freestyle is how you get lines on your render to make it look like it's a bit of a drawing. So, and there are some add-ons out there, and some of them need to be updated that people sell, and sometimes people give them away. But yeah, so that's what I want you to enable. And over here, so if we come up here over right where our little gizmo is, so you see where I'm making this go back around. Let's do this. I got to go back. I'm sorry, I forgot to do this. I'm going to go back to preferences. It's good practice. It's good practice. So interface, where is it? Because by the way, I forget where stuff is. But let me just tell you, I only got so much bandwidth for for knowledge. I have a ton of the 2D knowledge and things that I've memorized over the years, and with all the stuff that I have memorized in life, look, there's something's got to give, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you, I don't remember that. Where is navigation? Here we go. So you're gonna go to navigation. Right now, this is trackball navigation, which means if I navigate it, I can go all around here. This is cool when you're sculpting, but you see I got this like here, and all of a sudden it's all wobbly and everything else, and then you are trying to make it like go straight, and you're just like, this is making me mad, and you stop. Let's not do that. Let us go and so let's go here and go to turntable animation. So turntable animation it works more like you're orbiting like a turntable is essentially what's going on. This doesn't mean that you can't do the trackball thing, but it gets a little less, wacky to manage there. Hold on a second. All right, I had to take a break because it was a dog barking. Who's mine? But anyway, turntable animation or turntable-y rotation in the long run that's what I prefer to have it on, because I find it gets less out of control with that, because I kind of think of it like a turntable, like we're scratching a turntable, and it doesn't get all. I mean, we can go underneath, but as you can see, it's a little bit more controllable. Up here on the horseshoe, right where it says global, if you go next to here, there is snapping, which means that when you are moving things, it snaps to other things. During your snap during transformation, you turn that on if you want to be more accurate when you are moving things. This does help. So it just moves it in increments. If you don't want that, turn off the horseshoe. Turn off the magnetic horseshoe. It's supposed to be a magnet. Over here, we are going to enable. Where's it at? I always forget. So over here, we have viewport overlays. So you see I got the floor. So you might not have the floor. Have the floor selected. And the axes we have, so if I took off X, I won't be able to see the X-axis, X, Y, but there's no Z. For the purposes of learning, we're going to have Z. I want Z on there so you can see the axes, so you can kind of help yourself to memorize them a bit. Not much. And so all this other stuff I got connected if you want to freeze the screen. Outline selected. Showing out because it shows the outline around there. I got extra objects because object details including empty wire, cameras, and other visual guides. Bones, we're not going to really use that. Relationship lines show dash lines indicating. Like I just have some of this was all by default, but the biggest thing over here was to have, and you can scale this inside and out, but I would leave that at the default of 1. And X, Y, and Z, I want those both activated, because now if I say go up to your viewport navigational tool and go around the Z axis, you're seeing that blue axis right there. So I want this like this. And now to make sure that we're always in default, well, what I kind of call default, your Y, so your Z is up and down, and your Y is up in the back. So negative Y should be in front, positive Y is in back. I don't know why. I don't know why. Ha ha ha. All right. And X is going across there. So that is that. And so with when it's X, Y, and I was kind of wondering like why I gotta stop. I was inquiring as to the placement of the X and the Y values. If we go to the top here, then it makes a little bit more sense. So this is moving along the Y-axis. That's moving along the X. So those little plotted points. And so it's because you are looking at it in top orthographic. Don't panic. I'll explain what all of the terms are. The terms that we're going to use. So now it's moving along the Y-axis. Now it's going along X. And if we click onto our gizmo, that's what it is, a little gizmo, then all of a sudden we get that Z-axis going up and down. So technically, from a mathematical standpoint, and it's the only time I will try and mention math, these are the positives, that's the negative, that's negative. Because if it was if it's a number line, then the middle would be 0 and it would go 1, 2, 3. Sorry, let's go up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Right? And so this would be -1, -2, -3. And so if this is positive 1, 2, 3 over on this side, then negative is -1, -1, -2, -3. And then we turn this for Z, that's positive Z going up, right? And then negative Z is going down. So that's why that is. I am smart with my brains that live inside of my head. Okay, I am going to stop talking. After this video, I want you to take a break because after recording these videos all in a row, my brain is a little bit spent. Go and do something. Go play some video games. Chill out. Don't start the next section. At least give yourself an hour. At very least, give yourself an hour. Or just give yourself a day, to be just brutally honest. Give yourself a day. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Don't get burnt out. You're going to learn this. You are. You got me as a teacher. I believe I'm pretty good. That's what the students say, except for the ones that don't. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.